Steve Jewin, MMA Mania.
All right, take it away, Steve.
Saad, it's a pleasure to talk to you again today. Thank you for the time. And I'm starting out all of these interviews for Bellator 154, asking people to give their thoughts on the unfortunate passing of Jordan Parsons.
Oh man, yeah, it's one of those things that like you feel like a family member went. You know what I mean? Like when I first heard the news, I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" When I first heard the accident, it I mean, he wasn't like my buddy or anything, but just being a part of the sport for so long and being part of the organization and being hungry just like we are, you know what I mean, up and comer, and it hurt, man. It hurt.
He got mowed down by a driver with apparently a long history of vehicular accidents. It's amazing somebody didn't get this guy off the road.
Yeah, I heard about that. It's unfortunate how to lead to this to finally get this guy, but you know, at least they got him. You know, at least they got him. I mean, it's not gonna do any better for any of the people or his family members. But at least they got that guy off the road, so it won't happen again.
Yeah, I hope so too. I'm glad they have somebody behind bars, and Bellator has been really great about announcing they're going to help with funeral expenses and make sure that his family doesn't get drowned in the bills, which I really appreciate. But
that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
But moving on to a happier note, let's talk about the fact that you're on this card now. You ended up being one of the late notice fighters. There were several fights that got changed. And what do you think of the fact that you're now facing Evangelista Cyborg Santos?
I think it's awesome. I think I'm just excited about it as the fans are. You know, it's one of those things that if I was sitting on the sideline and I saw somebody like me getting last minute, I'd be just as excited as I am now that I'm the one actually taking the fight.
It's interesting size-wise, too, because your reputation is as a lightweight, but you're moving up to welterweight. And at first I thought that might be a problem, and then I looked at the stat sheet, and you guys are the same height and almost identical reach. In fact, your reach is just a little bit longer than his.
Yeah. I mean, people that have fought me, they didn't realize how big I was until they actually got in the cage. They're like, holy shit, this dude's a big lightweight. You know what I mean? Like, my teammates obviously know how big I am for lightweight. I'm a bigger lightweight. So I fought at 170 before. I fought at 185 when I first started. You know what I mean? So I'm not afraid of it. It's not something that's bothering me. You know, I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna do my thing and just see how it plays out. You know, I'm looking forward to it. I know he's not a big 70 punter. He used to be bigger, but he shrunk in size for some reason. But now he's fighting at 70. He's not very big anymore. So it should see how it plays out.
Did you take anything away from his fight with Brennan Ward at Bellator 153? I know it was a very quick fight, but maybe there was something in it you could pick up.
No, it just shows how well-rounded he is. You know, I'm sure Brennan Ward thought he was just going to go in there and just throw his hands like he usually does, or throw kicks. Like, I mean, he did throw a kick, but, you know, he thought his fight was going to go in there and brawl, but it just shows, you know, that's where his experience kicked in. As soon as Brennan grabbed him, he turned his switch on and went straight to jiu-jitsu. So he's dangerous all around, and that's something I'm prepared for.
Well, you said what my thoughts were going into the fight as well, that I thought Brennan Ward was just going to go in there and throw hands with him because Santos is a legend. He's been around for a long time, but that also means he's been knocked out quite a few times. And I thought maybe he'd lay hands on him and drop him, and I'm kind of thinking the same thing for your fight with him. Yeah,
I think that was his game plan, to be honest, with Ward. Like, he came out and right off the gate, he threw a kick, and you know what's coming behind that kick is some punches. And he went out, threw the kick. Brennan Ward hesitated, caught it, and then went to his back, and I think he tried to suplex him. And then that's when he turned on his jiu-jitsu. But I do think if Brennan Ward didn't grab him, they would have been throwing hands, and it would have been a different outcome. And maybe we wouldn't be fighting today.
Yeah, that's true. You know, you could be on medical suspension right now instead of coming back on very short notice. But another thing that I find interesting when I look at the statistics in this fight is your versatility in finishes. You've got an equal number of knockouts and submissions. So I think that makes it harder for Santos to scout you. Like, he's not going to know what you're planning to do.
Yeah, hopefully he's coming in, you know, thinking that, because you're right. You know, I never started off as just a jiu-jitsu guy or just a stand-up guy. The gym I went to was the MMA gym when I first started. I did have wrestling background, so it did help me. But I've always been in a straight MMA gym. I've never went to a straight Muay Thai gym or a straight wrestling gym. So that's why I'm comfortable on the mat. I'm comfortable on my feet. I'm comfortable wherever the fight goes. So I should be comfortable.
You hadn't fought since last August, and obviously at some point this year you had a fight coming up on your schedule. But how much sooner was taking this fight than you would have ordinarily been fighting?
You know what? Like I said before, I was out due to a broken hand, so I was out for a while. And then finally I started training, getting back in shape. And as soon as I started getting in shape, I started calling Belichick, hey, give me a fight, give me a fight. They said, all the cards are full, but it might be in a couple of months. It might be in a couple of months. It might be in a couple of months. So I told them, listen, I was tired of hearing that. And they said, okay, maybe July. We're looking at July. You're going to come back. And I said, listen, if something comes around at 170, I'll take it. I'm not afraid to go up weight class. I'm not going to be like these guys that just sit back and try to pick their fights and wait. I was like, if the fight makes sense at 170, I'll take it. And they called me for this fight. I said, yeah, right away. Because who wouldn't want to fight this fight unless you're scared to get hit? It's a fight.
Size-wise, a guy that's got a name that if you knock him off, it'll be like another one. Like when you knocked off Will Brooks, it'll be another check mark on your list.
Exactly. And I don't want to be that guy that, retires and said, I should have took this fight, should have took that fight. I want to be that guy that people look back and say, man, do you remember when he had that war with Cyborg? Or do you remember when he fought this guy and went toe-to-toe and, he came out on top? Or do you remember when he fought this guy? I want to be that guy. I want to make as much money as I can in the sport. Get out, halfway healthy and then, and still have fights to look back on that I could be proud of.
Did the broken hand come from the fight with Patricky Frary?
Yeah, I broke my left hand about 2 minutes into the first round. So I had to kind of, fight around it, which kind of sucked, but, yeah, that's what happened my last fight.
Well, see, that leads to my second question then, because I had you winning the first round of that fight. The second was so close, I thought it could have gone either way, so I thought, I don't know what the judges are going to do, but I figure at least one, if maybe two of the three rounds are going to Awad, and then they read unanimous 30-27. I was a little stunned by that, and the crowd in California didn't seem too happy about it either, so what's your take?
I try not to dwell on the past, because then I just get irritated about it, but that's something that was in my hands and it was out of my hands. And I'm saying that because it was out of my hands, obviously, because I wasn't a judge. And, I guess they saw something different. I mean, if you go to Sherdog had me, half the guys on Sherdog had me winning by split decision. So, but it was in my hands because I'm looking at it as, I should have just did a little bit more. Probably just thrown a little bit more, I would have probably, won the fight. But maybe because I was backing up a little bit. Maybe that's where they saw the cage aggression, the octagon or whatever, cage control. They probably gave him points for that. Maybe I didn't see it. So I learned a lot, and it's gonna put me back in my old roots, where I just go out there and fight and get a finish instead of trying to win by points. Even though I couldn't really throw my left, but win by points to try to go for a title fight. So you'll see a different fight of this fight.
I gotta say, those Sherdog guys probably had it on the money, because I was thinking the same thing too. Like, there's no way that was unanimous. Split decision I could have seen, like 2 or 3 rounds from the judges going either way I could have seen, but it just didn't make sense when it was totally unanimous against. Like you said, though, you're not a judge.
Exactly. And I thought the worst, honestly, when I was standing there, I thought, okay, it sucks I broke my hand. I couldn't do what I wanted to do, but I thought I was scoring, so I was like, the worst going to happen is going to be a draw. That's what I was thinking. I was like, because one of the rounds were real close. Like you said, I thought I won the first round. And even the third round at the end, I kind of took him down and I had like a flurry of punches where I thought I stole the round. So I was like, okay, the worst going to happen is a draw. But it is what it is. It's over with. It's a loss on my record, and I just got to come back strong in this fight because people look at your last fight and that's all they really care about.
You don't want to dwell in the past, and we don't want to knock Frary either. He's not a judge. It's not his fault that it was scored the way it was scored. He
of course.
Came in there and fought a good
Of
fight.
course.
He fought a good fight. It was an exciting fight to watch, so you like taking fights that are memorable and exciting, and that one definitely goes down.
Yeah, I wish I could have did more, made it more exciting, but, I had to work with what I had to work with,
Let's say things go well with Santos. You pick up the W on Saturday night. Where does it go from here? You mentioned the title, and obviously Will Brooks is still the champion. You fought him a couple of times, but he also seems to be in a little flux with Bellator right now.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I didn't get too much information on it, and I'm not letting myself get distracted by that. I'm just gonna keep fighting, and then if a fight opens up with them, I'm gonna take it. If not, I'm gonna keep asking for fights and just try to stay busy. I have a daughter now, so I'm just gonna fight as much as I can to try to save up for her college fund.
Of course. There's other guys that are certainly going to be available in the near future too. Like, for example, we were supposed to have a Chandler versus Thompson fight on this card, and at some point later, those guys are going to fight. Maybe you could end up fighting one of them.
Oh, definitely. I definitely, I want, top 5 fights, and I want guys that are exciting. Both those guys are exciting. Those are both 2 guys that, I think would have really, really, really good fights. Either one of them.
What about more opportunities at 170, though? As you said, you're a pretty big lightweight. You're a good-sized welterweight. So if they have more 170 fights, do you want to stick around that weight class for a while?
If it makes sense. like I said, if it makes sense, you know what I mean? If the fight makes sense, if the money makes sense, why not? Sure, I'm here to fight, you know?
Now, just before the call, I saw a tweet, I believe Bellator retweeted it, of you and Georgie together, and obviously Georgie has the big fight coming up next week, you got the big fight coming up this week, so how's the training going respectively for both of you?
It's awesome. It's awesome. I did take a last minute fight, but, it was, I was already training, and I was with Georgie in his camp. He had his camp going on, so I was there every day training with him, getting him ready, and, so it couldn't have come at a better time. But yeah, he's looking good though. He's looking good, looking strong. He's on point. He can move now. He couldn't move last fight because he had his ACL that was messed up. But now he's moving. He's good.
So you like his chances with Pat Curran, then you think that's going to be a good fight for him?
Oh yeah, definitely. I like George's chances of game, but man, he's a lot of people underestimate him, but that kid's something else. And Pat Curran, obviously, somebody you don't want to underestimate. He's very, very tough. So I think it's gonna be a great fight. Of course, I'm pulling for Georgie. He's gonna have a tough fight, but I do believe he's gonna win this one.
Well, I think people are maybe a little bit missing out on this card right now. We got a couple weeks to go yet, but Boise, Idaho, that's looking like an excellent lineup. I just think San Jose is putting people in the blinders eye a little bit right now. They can't see it, but once we get through the SAP Center, people are going to realize how big that card is.
Oh yeah, yep, back to back. Once they start watching them, they'll realize that there's some good fights on both of the cards that people are going to get excited about.
Absolutely. Hey, before I let you go, then I want to get your thoughts on the main event of this card in San Jose, King Mo and Phil Davis. I've had very entertaining calls with both of them, and it looks like it's going to be a heck of a fight.
Oh yeah, you know what? It's a tough fight for either one of them. I know they're both thinking like I'm gonna go in there and wreck this other dude because they have very similar styles. But I'm rolling with my boy Mo. He that's my brother. So I think stylistically it's a tough fight because. Phil Davis is no joke, but King Mo, he's a bad dude, man. He's a bad dude. He doesn't get enough credit as he deserves from some of the fans, but I think he's going to go out there and put it on him. He's going to shut down his wrestling. If he shut down Phil Davis's wrestling, he does have striking, but he uses his wrestling a lot with his striking. If you shut it down, you're going to see a different fight.
Right, yeah. His wrestling sets up his striking, I think, is the key to Phil Davis, whereas King Mo can just hit you like a ton of bricks, and him running through that heavyweight tournament in Japan proves it.
Yeah, exactly. And King Mo doesn't really use his wrestling as much, and if he does, and then you're really in trouble. So it's gonna be interesting. But like I said, I got to give it to my boy Mo.
All right. Well, it could go either way, but we'll look forward to seeing it on Saturday night, just like we'll look forward to seeing your fight, a big key fight in the welterweight division with Evangelista Cyborg Santos. So it's interesting. Both Cyborgs are going to be fighting the same night because Chris Cyborg will be fighting at UFC as well.
Yeah, it's funny. I haven't been paying attention, but I just saw it yesterday. I was like, oh man, they probably, now that, they're not together anymore, they're probably like kind of in competition because they're both buying the same card. They both want to win, so it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. Although I think I'm going to put my money on the Bellator fight since that's the one I'll be watching.
Yeah. No, we hope she does well, not him, right?
Yeah, that's true. Definitely. We want you to come out the winner, but we'll see what happens on Saturday night.
Yeah.
So, Saad, I want to thank you for the time. And as always, any plugs you want to give out before I let you go?
No, just shout out to my team, Lenny and Georgie. We've been training hard, and we got fights coming up, and we have our buddy Lawrence Larkins has a big fight coming up, and so does our other teammate Johnny Bravo. So we have a bunch of guys coming up from Millennia that have big fights coming up.
All right. Well, big up to everybody at Millennia, and thank you again, Bellator, and thank you again to you, Saad. I appreciate the time.
Yep, thank you. You have a good one.